feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you spit. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Right now, 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 right now. Got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, got a real good feeling, like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling, I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's live stream, we are going to be talking about the 3 keys to successfully surviving a Bitcoin downtrend. As you guys may know, Bitcoin has corrected a couple of $1,000s overnight, and as we're going to talk about here in a second, the prediction I made on Bitcoin came perfectly true because I predicted a $5,400 Bitcoin. I'm joined today by Tim, who is our co-host, not Crypto Tim. Hello.
What's up, everybody?
And I'm also joined by our producer, Smay. Welcome, Smee the Tree. How are you doing? Guys, we have a lot to talk about in today's live stream. The very first thing we have to go over are the price predictions, which I won because I am not for the people, I am for victory. Tim, so would you like to go over the price predictions? I'm joking.
I'm just glad you finally admitted that you're not Jebb for the people. You tried to sell that a little bit for a little minute. Yeah, so you won. He won. I will say, though, because he didn't even attempt to go for kicks and giggles, he was off technically because while he's right about the 55.4, I think it was a 55.84 or 55.484 or whatever.
I just want to point out.
Anyway, you didn't even try. I
just want to point out that on my chart, this is the level 55,400 I called, and we're literally right there. Just so y'all know, I'm showing them the chart right now, just so they know.
Good, that's fine.
That's perfect. I'm gonna glow because I'm not right very often.
At the end of the day, Jebb brings home the dub. Congratulations, Team Jebb.
Thank you. Let's go. Team Jebb, I will stand for you. We're the accurate ones. He's overly optimistic. Smay is just always thinking that the sky's falling.
Hold on, wait a second.
What?
You're always accurate. Sorry, who in this room holds the most wins right now?
Hey, but your wins, you're always predicting like really low numbers, so we don't want you to win because you
I'm
always
realistic. I'm not a perma bear, bull. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hold on. When we talk about accuracy, listen, we're talking about consistency. The only consistent one in this room is me.
Oh, no.
Because Jebb has changed from the voice of truth to the voice of the people to the voice of what is it now?
The voice of winning.
A voice of winning.
Yes.
So that is the opposite of consistency whatsoever. I will give Smay has been way more consistent with his pessimism, although even yesterday he was actually saying that Bitcoin's getting a little bit better. I have stayed solid the entire time.
Lies.
Voice of the people. I'm for the people. I want people to be successful and to make money, and that's never going to change. And even if sometimes I take the L, it's because I'm taking the L with my people.
Yeah, well, you know who's been consistent this whole time is Karen, who keeps saying that that there's wife-changing wealth coming in. I wonder why. Why is it wife-changing wealth? And then for a second it was girlfriend-changing wealth. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, I'm assuming what. it's Karen. So it's Karen a she? Karen,
that's
are you
a
a
good
she
point.
or a he? Or,
That's a good point.
All I'm gonna say is, the way I interpret it is that it's like, okay, you're gonna get so rich that you're gonna upgrade your girl, which is, by the way, very, 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 very
terrible.
misogynistic. You know, it's very.
I really
very
hope that
sexist.
that's not a thing because my wife would need to upgrade from me probably pretty quickly.
Oh gosh.
So
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah,
that's him
she
saying
could
he's
definitely
getting
go
wealthy
up.
in crypto.
She could go up for sure.
Dang. Forget about upgrading your wife. No, he just leaned into it. It's like one time, guys, when I in 3rd grade, I went to this place called Pepper Gettings. And every single time they'd call roll, there was this kid, and he would always say president instead of present. And everybody thought it was really cute, right? So one day I wanted to be really cute, right? I wanted to be a really cute little kid. And so I decided that I was going to raise my hand and say president. And then they put me in the corner. Anyway, guys, so price predictions.
What in the world? What the freak just happened?
What was that? This man's dying off
gosh.
camera.
I want to apologize. I want to apologize for
Tim,
whatever that was.
what predictions were made? Let's finish that, and then we'll get it started.
The predictions on the coin, on the price. All right, so it was sitting at 57,115. That's what you're asking, correct? It was sitting at 57,115. We actually didn't give Zach the chance to vote, which was a massive oversight.
Definitely not high. Zach was busy
so
being
that was a
definitely
problem.
not high.
But I voted 61,248 because we kind of, based off what we were looking at, we knew it was either going to break up or break down. I was wrong, but like I said, I was trying to help the people and
It's true.
go that way. Smay kind of sat flat at 57,500, and then Jebb correctly predicted the 55.4. Congratulations, as we said, we don't need to continue to sit here. and
It's
just,
okay. It's okay. I'll take the humble L, the humble victory.
I say the victory.
The
Yeah.
humble victory.
You can take an L if you want.
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
can
the
take
humble
the L
victory.
too.
I'll probably take the L in this one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, it's about time for me to win again. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a feeling that
Well-
I'm on Team Smay today, just so y'all know. I have a feeling he's going to win.
Yeah.
We'll find out at the end of the show. But speaking of the show, before we jump in, just so you guys have some kind of an idea of what is happening in today's show, we are going to be talking about this slight bear trend, not just in Bitcoin. In case you guys have been watching, we're seeing this in pretty much every major coin. Some altcoins had some good bullish movements, but overall we saw not a bear market. We didn't see the beginning of the bear market. We saw a bear trend. So we're going to be discussing what you need to be doing to make sure you're setting yourself up to actually be successful despite the bear trend. And then when we get to our 2-minute technicals, we're going to be discussing a couple coins, a couple new ones too, but we're going to be discussing Bitcoin today, Ethereum, ADA, but then we're also going to be talking about Theta and Harmony. So if you guys are excited, make sure you stay tuned in. I've already seen some comments talking about that, asking will we cover those. So just so you guys know ahead of time, we will be getting to all those coins and showing you the technical analysis while also helping set you up to be successful no matter whether we're in a bear trend, bull trend, whatever we're doing. We want you to be wise in the process.
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump straight onto the Bitcoin chart. We're going to do a little bit of Bitcoin technical analysis, and then we're going to move on to Ethereum, and then we're going to jump into those 3 keys to successfully surviving a cryptocurrency downtrend. If you're ready, smash that like button and let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on over to the Bitcoin chart. You can see that there is a ton of analysis up here. We're gonna start with a blank chart and do some blank to bank technical analysis on Bitcoin. This is the technical analysis format where I take a completely blank chart and I show you how to bank by trading and investing on it through the art of technical analysis. The very first thing we have to do is define our levels of resistance. So let's go ahead and do that. Obviously, guys, we have a level of resistance right here at $58,200. That is a previous all-time high that we hit on the 21st of February. We also have an all-time high just a couple of weeks ago sitting at just under $62,000. Another level I want to show you is a level of support that I'll switch to blue. This is at $43,000. And I'm also going to show you something that I found from an article that we found in our reading today. And this is actually a point that we're going to bring up a little bit later, is making sure you're looking at other people's technical analysis so you're getting ideas. I saw someone talk about a support level at $47,000, and I was looking at moving averages, and I was looking at TD sequential and VPVR and all of this, and I couldn't exactly tell where $47,000 was coming from as a potential level of support. And then I looked at the VPVR and I noticed, hey, wait a second, if I put a level of support here and I draw it at $47,000, then what we're going to find is that that is sitting on what is known as a VPVR maximum. If you'll notice, there's a spike in VPVR trading right over here. That's because there's been quite a bit of trading in this region. So VPVR having a spike at 47,000 means that $47,000 is also a level of support that we should pay attention to. Zooming into the 4-hourly chart, there are several trend lines that I want to show you. Namely, I want to show you this uptrending level of support right here that has previously been broken. And all jokes aside, this was how I made my prediction yesterday that Bitcoin was going to pull down to $55,400, is that if you'll zoom in and notice, this previous uptrending level of support then became an uptrending level of resistance. Notice how we rallied up to it and rejected from it. We made our prediction right around here. This looked like a bear flag, and if we were to do a price target, you could see that this bear flag has a price target down here around $54,000, $53,500, somewhere in that region. That's how I came up with that prediction yesterday, and it just so happened that it was correct. Remember, guys, the price prediction stuff is more for entertainment than actual analysis, but I do try and at least back mine up with some analysis. That's where that came from. So Bitcoin has broken bearish below that uptrending level of support. Clearly, Bitcoin has been in a consistent downtrend for the last 9 to 10 days or so, ever since our previous all-time high rally, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's live stream. How do you survive these corrections and not go crazy? It can be really easy to do that. We're going to talk about that in a second. Next thing I want to show you is the 20 daily exponential moving average, because there's a very important update going on it right now. You can see the 20 daily EMA is sitting right around $55,000, which, by the way, is an important level of support. I want to go ahead and draw right here. $55,000 along with the 20 daily EMA are our support levels. Bitcoin is attempting to get back up above the support level, and in the next 24 hours, we should have confirmation that Bitcoin is either going to stay above the 20 daily EMA or it's going to fall below the 20 daily EMA, and we should have a better understanding of which direction the market is going from here. Pay close attention to the 20 daily exponential moving average and to the support level at $55,000 flat. Very important level. Looking at the VPVR, looking at the MACD and the RSI, we can see that the MACD is still bearish. It's still quite bearish, but I will point out that the last day we've seen less divergence than we saw the day before. Notice the size difference in these two histogram bars right here. We see that this one is about negative 500 tall, and this one's only about negative 150 tall. The convergence is slowing down, which could be an early sign of a reversal in the market. Pay attention to that. RSI, not much to write home about there. I will point to volume and say that we had a large volume candlestick yesterday, but it was a red volume candlestick, so it's nothing we should be too excited about. At the end of the day, guys, right now, Bitcoin is clearly in a downtrend, and what we want to talk about in this stream is how you process that. So that's the Bitcoin technical analysis. I'm about to jump on to some Ethereum technical analysis. Any questions you have for that, please feel free to put them in the chat, and we will get to them a little bit later. If there's nothing left, I will go ahead and move on to Ethereum TA. Keep going. Let's do it, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to some Ethereum TA, and then we'll open the floor for discussion and our points. Guys, moving on to Ethereum. Let me go ahead and switch back over here. Moving on to Ethereum, I actually think Ethereum is about to go into a relatively substantial downtrend, and I'll show you why. Ethereum had a strong level of support at $1,728, right around $1,730. You can see that support level was set by these bottoms here, all of these bottoms right here, and you can see just yesterday, around 1600 hours Eastern Standard Time, that's 4 o'clock in the afternoon for everyone on the Eastern Seaboard, Ethereum broke bearish below 1730, which was its all-important support level. You can see that there were support levels over here that established that. So that has now turned into resistance. Ethereum has been trading above that level for like a week and a half, or a week and a half by now. We've been up here for actually nearly 2 weeks. The fact that Ethereum broke down here and set a new support level at 1672, guys, there's not much support down here. I just want to make this very obvious. In between 1410, which is the previous all-time high on Ethereum, and where we're sitting right now, it's about 30% to the downside if we were to pull back there. If you notice this, 15% to the downside. There's not much support down here. We can zoom out to the daily chart. We can look for support. There just isn't much. If we look at the 20 daily EMA, you can see that yesterday we broke below the 20 daily EMA. The 20 daily EMA is how you confirm uptrends and downtrends. So since we've just broken below it, that confirms a downtrend. We are now correctly identifying a downtrend on Ethereum, and we should expect that to continue. Also, we see a bearish MACD. The reason that I'm not saying the same thing on Bitcoin is because Bitcoin is sitting above its 20 daily EMA, at least for now. If it rejects from it, then yeah, we're probably going lower, maybe to that $50,000 region. But on Ethereum, we are categorically below it, and so we are categorically in a downtrend. We can have confidence in that because we're seeing Ethereum break its support levels. We're seeing Ethereum set lower highs and lower lows. We're in a downtrend on Ethereum. So those are the foundations right here. We can talk about price targets later. We'll do price predictions at the end of this video. There's the foundational technical analysis that we're going to build off of in this segment. So guys, there are 3 main points we want to make in this segment. We're going to talk about this at length. We want to talk about the 3 things that you need to remember whenever you are working in cryptocurrency markets. Number 1, you need to stay informed. It is absolutely critical that you stay informed on the fundamentals and you really know what's going on in the market. Number 2, I want you guys not to overthink. I don't want you guys to freak out whenever something happens. I want you to pull back and just think for a second not overthinking. That's the best thing you can think about. And number 3, I want to make sure you guys keep perspective. So we're going to kick off by talking about how we want to stay informed. And we're going to talk about how important it is to watch the fundamentals. Tim, do you have anything to chime in on about watching the fundamentals and how important that is and how you do that? Because I know that you were talking a lot in our planning meeting this morning about how watching fundamentals can keep you calm during corrections.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so first of all, the fundamentals, as we've said before, is like learning how to play the game. So if you're not up to date with the fundamentals and what's happening, you're not really going to be able to play that well because the game's just going to be getting away from you, kind of. Overall, though, like when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to Ethereum, you know, specifically we just talked about those 2 coins, but when it comes to anyone, just keep yourself updated on what's happening. Keep yourself updated on what people are doing. Keep yourself up to date on what's happening and things around. Like something I'm hitting really hard right now because it's a massive fundamental detail to Bitcoin specifically is following what is happening with this 10-year yield that just came out, the raising of the 10-year treasury yield and how that affects Bitcoin. And whether it should affect Bitcoin or not, it is affecting it, so we need to know why. So as a fundamental, like as I'm trying to grow my fundamental analysis, I need to understand why it's affecting it and not just say, well, it shouldn't, right? But no, I'm going to pass it back to you and keep talking about more of that.
Yeah, so actually I want to touch on that 10-year treasury yield thing right now. Right now, guys, what we're seeing, and this is some research we've done in the background, is that something called the 10-year treasury yield is increasing its overall yield. It's increasing its return. Something you guys have to understand is that when people are fearful about the stock market and traditional investment vehicles, what they do is they take their money and they put it in something that they perceive as less risky. It's called a hedge. A treasury is a hedge against the stock market. So a lot of people are leaving the stock market right now and putting money in things like gold and precious metals and putting it into the real estate markets that seem stable. Some of them aren't stable, but the ones that are stable are doing very well. People aren't putting in money into commercial real estate, but they are trying to put money into multifamily and residential real estate. When people start putting money into the treasuries, what happens? The treasury yields go up. And why that happens is because people are moving away from stocks into treasuries. Okay, that makes sense. So if we're seeing treasury yields go up, then what that does is that signals that the investors are not confident in the stock market. If people aren't confident in the stock market, then they're probably not confident in the economy. And if they're not confident in the economy, where are they going to put their money? They're going to put their money somewhere that is a hedge against the economy. And what was Bitcoin built to do? Bitcoin was built to be a hedge against the economy. And this is one of the fundamentals we're talking about. If Bitcoin was built to be a hedge against the US dollar, I said the economy, excuse me. If Bitcoin was built to be a hedge against inflationary policy with the US dollar, and people are scared of the US dollar right now, they're scared of the economy and they're going to treasuries, why are they not going to Bitcoin? The only reason they're not going to Bitcoin is a lack of education. And that's one of the fundamentals we need to internalize, is that even if Bitcoin is going into a small correction, it's okay, because if we understand the fundamental reasons that Bitcoin should do well in the long run, we will be fine. Tim, you had a story you want to talk about the Falcons and the Patriots. Do you want to go ahead and run with that?
Yes. No, and even before I say that, I want to just look at the chat real quick. Kevin Hershock, thanks for reminding me. I completely forgot. You know, he made a bold prediction there. I don't know. I have no idea about the big company purchasing thing. I do remember reading the other day, and this is going to be pretty big, so pay attention to news like this. The Joe Rogan Experience show, the podcast, which is massive, the king of podcasts, I would say. There is a lot of speculation that he is about to have a host that is going to be talking about Bitcoin for the entire 4-hour show. So that's fundamental analysis, because the amount of people that will be exposed to information about Bitcoin is going to be huge. That being said, though, I want to continue with this point of us staying informed and the importance of staying informed, and kind of throw it into as Jebb just said, a story like in sports that kind of shows you this mindset of what happens when you stay informed and you keep your head on your shoulders. So those of you who watch football will remember the Super Bowl back in 2017 between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. And what happened was the entire game, the Atlanta Falcons were dominating, absolutely destroying the New England Patriots. At halftime, it was 28-9. Like, that is absolutely, 21-3. By the end of the third quarter, 28-9. That looks like all other metrics in most games when you factor in momentum and everything else. That's a done game. That's the end of it. This is the thing about the New England Patriots. This thing about Tom Brady, about Bill Belichick, is they have such strong fundamentals of who they are, and they know what is possible. They were down by 19 points going into the fourth quarter. They had just seen Atlanta Falcons score 21 points in one quarter. They knew 19 points in a quarter is not impossible. We've even had quarters where we scored 35 points. They kept their heads on their shoulders. They did not freak out. They came back. They scored their 19 points, went to overtime, and won the game. And it is because they didn't just give up because the numbers didn't look good. They stayed informed. Hey, what is doable? What are we still capable of doing? What does this actually say? And right there is all that they needed to actually stay engaged in the game. Whereas many other teams would have given up, they stayed informed.
They looked at the fundamentals and they saw, hey, wait a second, we're a really good team and we have what it takes to win. They looked at the fundamentals, not the results.
Yes.
Right, Tim? Go ahead.
No, and ultimately, if you look at interviews from the team, they literally said, we had been playing Atlanta's game the entire game. We had went into the playoffs with a 15-2 record. We were the most winningest team in all of football, and we were playing their game. We switched it to playing our game, and that's what brought out the W.
Yeah. So, guys, on the point of staying informed, it's very important that, number one of the things my dad always said is he always said, Jebb, remember who you are. When we're in cryptocurrency, let's say Bolvito, let's say subscriber, whoever's there, remember where we are. Not who you are. I mean, remember who you are, yes, but remember where we are. Where are we? We are in the first inning of 9 in a crazy, crazy good baseball game that will go down in history. Bitcoin is going to change the world, and if you truly believe that, you shouldn't be worried about correction. So that's our number one point, is stay informed and remember where you are. Remember the fundamentals and remember where Bitcoin is going. That is how you curb that FUD in cryptocurrency. There's a couple more points we had on that, but I think we actually put a pretty neat bow on that. I want to move on to our next point, which is to not overthink things, guys. So the 3 points are this. Number one, stay informed. That's what we just talked about. Remember your fundamentals. Remember where you are. Now, let's talk about not overthinking things. It's very easy to overthink things. And Tim, you have a personal example from your wife that I would love for you to tell us about Taylor.
Yeah, so I've told this story on the show before, but my getting into Bitcoin in the first place started with the way I think if you're married, this probably should start, consult your wife first. But I consulted my wife, and we decided to invest $5,000. And this is back in August of 2020, so not necessarily too long ago. It hasn't even been a full year. But the price of Bitcoin was sitting around 11,000 or so. Mm-hmm. What happened was almost immediately it dropped to like 10 something. So my wife looking at, we put 5,000 in, then she sees we only have like 4,700 or something like that. So we lost like $300 overnight. Immediately had that price anxiety. I immediately was like, oh no, what did we do, Tim? Should we get our money back out? This isn't worth it. And that is a common experience even for people who've been in the crypto world for a while, to have that price anxiety and to kind of freak out. Good story, though. I convinced her to stay in, and we are now sitting a lot prettier.
Very pretty.
Yeah, a lot more pretty than 4,700.
So I want you guys to just know something. No matter what you're in, you're going to get anxiety. It is a natural emotion, but it is an emotion that you need to realize is just that. It's just an emotion. I'm a business owner. We run a company here with 9 people. It's a multi-million-dollar company. We're growing fast. We have a lot of growth going on. We have a lot going on in the background. And sometimes I can get anxious and be like, man, that wasn't a good week. Man, what happens if we go out of business? What happens if I can't make payroll for my employees? What happens if X, Y, and Z? But the thing you have to realize is that anxiety is not real. Anxiety is not the real world. Anxiety is that little demon in your brain trying to convince you that what you're doing is not going to work. So I would encourage you, whenever you get anxious about the market pulling back, take a second, take a clarity break, and pull back. I want to tell you a story about Jeff Bezos. He's one of the richest men on the planet right now. I think he went back to being the richest man on the planet, past Elon Musk once again. Back in the early 90s, Jeff Bezos and Amazon lost a stupid amount of net worth. Amazon was down, I think, 90 or 95% from its all-time high. It was a bloodbath. It was a huge correction. Amazon's stock had completely and utterly collapsed. Jeff Bezos was in a position where he could be very anxious about the stock, in the same way that whenever Bitcoin goes into a correction, you could be very anxious about the price of Bitcoin. But what did Jeff Bezos say? Jeff Bezos exhibited the traits of a great leader, and what Jeff Bezos did is he said, hey guys, wait a second. Yes, Amazon stock price is down, But what is the company actually doing? We're launching this new store. We're hiring all these new employees. We're opening these facilities. We're expanding our distribution networks. We're growing our business. So even though the stock price is down, what do the fundamentals say? The stock price is only the daily representation of the long-term value of Amazon, the company. So in Bitcoin, it's the same thing. Whenever the price goes down, don't worry about the price. Are you planning on selling today? If so, then yeah, look at the price. But if not, don't worry about it. What do the fundamentals on Bitcoin say? So our first point is this. Stay informed. Make sure you're looking at the fundamentals. Our second point is don't overthink it. Because at the end of the day, the price is just the daily representation of whatever's going on in the market. There's natural volatility. Look at the fundamentals instead, and don't get too caught up in that own anxiety. Don't overthink it the way that your wife was doing, Taylor was doing, and try and freak out because, oh gosh, the sky's falling. So those are the two first points. And the third point we want to make is to keep perspective. Tim, do you have any perspective on that point?
No.
Because I have a tip for people.
Yeah, no, I was even telling Jebb this morning. So you guys have been following ADA. You guys have been watching what is happening. When it made that massive jump to 147, that was huge. But then within one day, it dropped back down. So I bought a couple days later at 120. I entered at 120 saying, all right, this is great. I'm glad it's this low. And then this morning, I woke up to being 114. That flash of, oh no, I lost money, crossed my head for 1 second before I was like, oh no, that is completely okay. I bought again at 114. And you know what? If it drops to 110 or if it drops down to below $1, it is okay because, as we're about to talk perspective, my perspective on ADA is that it is worth way more than $1.20. It is worth way more than $1.47. My long-term output dictates my buying decision, and the price being a little bit higher at one point versus a little bit lower at another point, at this point is so astronomically small in comparison to its long-term effects that it has literally no change in what my thinking is when I'm talking about buying. But Jebb, go ahead and talk to them about perspective.
Yeah.
Tell them what you think about that.
So guys, here's a tip. Whenever you get concerned about anything in life, whenever you get anxious about anything in life, I want you to do something. I want you to take a lap. You're getting upset. You're getting frustrated. Take a lap. Pull back. Take a clarity break. Just go take a lap. Let the emotions cool down. And when you come back, here's what you do. Let me show you this. I'm going to go onto the chart because I want to show you what I do whenever I'm feeling like I want to get anxious. Remember, guys, even the pros start to feel anxious, but the pros know what to do with that emotion. Let's say that Bitcoin has just gone down 15%. Oh no, the sky's falling. What am I going to do? Here's the first thing I do, guys. I go up here to this little button and I go from the daily chart to the monthly chart. And I go to the monthly chart and I look at the chart and I realize, holy crap. Every single monthly candlestick for the last 6 months has been green. In the last 151 days, we're up 420 %. At the end of the day, Bitcoin is doing very well. And there's nothing for us to be concerned about because Bitcoin is doing very well. And why is it doing well? Points back to those fundamentals we were talking about earlier. The fundamentals are growing, and that's driving that long-term price. Now, you might look out and say, oh my gosh, the last year, man, Bitcoin's down 85%. At one point, Bitcoin pulled back from $20,000 to $3,000. By the way, my entire livelihood was running a YouTube channel and trading and investing cryptocurrencies during those 13 months. That was anxiety. Anxiety is not when Bitcoin drops 10%. That is an opportunity. Anxious is when you're down 85%. Understanding how to have those balls of steel and those diamond hands that we talk about is what you want to do. And one of the ways that you can instill that in yourself is by zooming out. First, you take a lap. You say, I'm done. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to lay everything on the table and I'm going to say, I'm going to come back once I've calmed down a little bit. Then I want you to zoom out. I want you to look. What has the chart done in the long term? If it's doing well in the long term, which it is, let's not be concerned over spilled milk just because we're having a little correction. So the third point we want to make is keep perspective. And guys, that actually leads me into a point I want to make because I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. And these 3 questions will help you to keep perspective. The first question is this. Why did you get into crypto? Literally, ask yourself the question right now while you're watching the stream. I want you to ask yourself the question, why did I get into crypto? Tim, I'm going to use you as an example. Why did you get into crypto?
I got into crypto because I knew that I needed to do something to invest in my long-term future other than just putting money into a savings account. And while I didn't know a whole lot about investing, I, based off the research, not only that I learned from you, but also did my own digging, was that Bitcoin specifically is what I first got into. This potentially is the future of currency. And especially as you look at the diminishing returns and the inflation of the US dollar, this is exactly what we need to fight against that. So the reason I got in is because I saw Bitcoin going to the moon and I wanted to get in early.
Exactly. So that leads me to the second point, actually. The first question is this. Ask yourself, why did I get into cryptocurrency? And you'll probably find an answer like he just said, which leads me to the second question. What is your long-term projection on Bitcoin? Give me in chat. Where do you think Bitcoin is going long-term? I'm going to say the word long-term. I'm not going to say 5 years, 10 years. I don't want to be specific. Just tell me in chat, dollar value. Where do you think Bitcoin is going long-term? For example, I think Bitcoin is going over $1 million in the long term. I think that's going to happen. I am pretty confident that that is going to transpire. So the first question is, why did I get into cryptocurrency? I got into cryptocurrency because of the answer to the second question. I think Bitcoin's going to over $1 million. And that leads me to the third question. If I got into cryptocurrency because of my long-term prediction, which is where I think Bitcoin is going, I think it's going over to $1 million, what are the wise people around me doing? Because something you have to understand is the greatest leaders became the greatest leaders and the greatest teachers because they were first the greatest students. You need to be a student of someone wiser than you. That's why we surround ourselves with people that are more talented than us. We should never stop learning just because you graduated. I don't care if you graduated with a PhD in astrophysics. If you ever stop learning, you stop progressing, and that's when you stop growing, and that's when success dies. So the first question, why did you get into crypto? If you got into crypto for the long game, great. That's the answer to the second question. Third question, what are the wise people doing around you? And should you follow them? Are they someone you want to follow? Let's look at the whales, for example. What are the whales doing right now? What are the rich people doing right now? What are the institutions doing right now? What are podcasts like Joe Rogan doing? They're all doing things around Bitcoin. Look at Gary Vaynerchuk's channel. Half of what he's talking about is NFTs and Bitcoin. What are the wise people doing around us right now? Guess what? They're adopting Bitcoin. So whenever you want to get anxious about the market, our third point is to keep perspective. How do you keep perspective? You look at the wisdom around you, and you look at the people that are further along than you are. If you struggle with anxiety, look to someone who's a rock. If you struggle with a lack of knowledge, look to someone who is learned. If you struggle with learning, look to a teacher and see that they learned how to teach by learning how to learn first. So those are the three questions. Number one, why did I get into crypto? Number two, what's my long-term prediction? And number three, what are the wise people around me that I want to follow doing? Those are the three questions and our 3 points in this stream. The 3 keys to becoming a successful trader, even in a downtrend, is number one, stay informed. Number two, don't overthink it. Don't get freaked out just because it went down $100. And number three, keep your perspective. Tim, there was a final point we wanted to say to wrap out this segment.
Absolutely. And I love it. People are coming in the stream, buy the dip. Great.
Exactly.
Buy the dip. And if you can time it perfectly, phenomenal. But I want to leave you guys with this kind of nugget of a thought, especially with Bitcoin, but you can take this same thought and apply it to Ethereum or Cardano or whatever you want to apply it to. When we look at those questions, those 3 questions at the end, when we talk about key perspective, why did I get into this? What is my long-term projection? And what are the wise people doing around me? He asked that question, what do you see Bitcoin getting to? You know, I think a number we kind of just revolved on. I saw some numbers in chat, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, 500,000. Let's call it 1 million. Let's say 1 million. And I think that's a pretty realistic expectation for Bitcoin. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I think it could get higher, but I'm saying I realistically see it getting to $1 million. What is, in the grand scheme of life, in the grand scheme of $1 million, does dropping from 60,000 to 55,000 really have to do with anything? What would happen if it dropped from 55 to 47, as Jebb was showing the reports, the chart says potentially it could. When it's at $1 million, I really won't be stipulating and thinking too hard about the fact of, did I buy at 55 or did I buy at 47? It's not that big of a difference to make you fret over. So when people are asking, should I buy? Am I too late? You know, can I buy now? Is this the dip? Should I buy now or wait later? First of all, that is your decision to make. But again, when you funnel these questions, when you funnel these thoughts, now it gives you the ability to make an informed, wise, and ultimately profitable decision for yourself, which is the greatest thing you could do. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of you love tuning into this channel and other channels and hearing their fundamental analysis and hearing their technical analysis and hearing their opinions. And all these things are great because, like we just said, one of the things you should do is find people you agree with, that you like, that are wise, and watch how they're reacting. But it doesn't take the responsibility off of your shoulders for making your own decisions, for doing your own research. Because at the end of the day, we are talking about it just like a fish. If the school of fish is swimming in the right direction, then by all means swim with them. But if the school of fish is swimming straight into the mouth of a whale that's going to eat them, you should be swimming the other direction. You should go in the right direction despite what anybody else is doing. And the only way you can do that is if you are informed, if you are not overthinking and trying to get in your own head, and if you're keeping perspective on what your goal was in the first place.
Absolutely, guys. So that wraps out our first segment, which is us talking about the 3 keys to surviving cryptocurrency. We're now going to move on into some 2-minute technicals, and we're going to start with Cardano. If you'd like to see technical analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum, I would encourage you to scrub back in the video because we did that just a little bit ago. We're going to go ahead and jump on over to the ADA over USD chart now, so let's go ahead and get started. Guys, this is 2-minute technicals. This is the segment where I do technical analysis on a chart in under 2 minutes, so let's go ahead and do it. The very first thing I want you guys to notice about Cardano is that we have a new all-time high sitting at $1.49. We rallied up there 7 days ago, and we have recently pulled back below $1.15, which is a very important level of support. However, this morning we have bounced above that, and Cardano is now sitting at $1.16. What we need to understand is that out on the daily chart, Cardano is playing the same game with the 20 daily EMA that Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is trying to decide if it wants to get above or stay below the 20 daily exponential moving average. Cardano is doing exactly the same thing. This is what we're talking about with decision points. If Cardano breaks to the downside here and rejects off of the 20 daily EMA, such an important exponential moving average, I have an entire video dedicated to it in CT2A. If Cardano breaks to the downside, then yes, we're more than likely going down to $1. If we're able to hold here above $1.15, the sky's the limit. We could go back to all-time high. The real thing you want to look at if Cardano breaks to the upside is we want to analyze what do the fundamentals say right now. Is there a lot of a hype in the market? Are a lot of people joining in and buying Cardano at the moment? Or is Cardano not really getting a lot of attention? Is Cardano not really doing anything? You need to throw it back to the news and how the space feels. Looking at the RSI and the MACD, we can see that MACD is pointing to the downside on Cardano. We tried to break bullish, but it didn't work. We do see that Cardano is not diverging much anymore. You can see the difference in the histogram bars right here is very, very small. It looks like Cardano could be reversing and moving into an uptrend if only it will stay above that $1.15 thing. I've already said that like 5 times, but I'm going to keep reiterating it because it's the most important thing on the Cardano chart right now. Looking at TD sequential, not much to write home about. Looking at our daily chart, 4 simple moving average, looking at the 50 daily SMA, you can see that this is providing support around $1.01. That's another support level that we can look at. That dollar zone around $1 plus or minus a cent or two is an important support zone. Look, guys, here's the deal. If Cardano does not hold above $1.15, you can be pretty confident that it's going to pull all the way back down to $1 just because there's not much excitement in the market right now. And if that happens, then you definitely have a short position you can open, ride that -13, -14%, and move into perhaps a leverage short trade if you really know what you're doing. So guys, that's my technical analysis on Cardano. Sometimes technical analysis doesn't need to take very long, and that's the point of these segments, is I like to keep it short, concise, because at the end of the day, it's really not that complicated. It actually is very simple. Tim, I know you just bought some more Cardano. What is your take on the Cardano price action right now? And do we see anything crazy going on in chat?
No, I mean, some people are asking the question, should I buy now? Is this the dip? Some people are saying, oh, this is the dip, buy now. I love, somebody, I think it's Michael Bellinger, I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but I love, he said, hey guys, these are not financial advisors. No one knows your financial situation.
Yep.
That's very wise, Michael. Like, that's absolutely true. Like, you can't give someone advice if you don't know their situation. All we can do is try to set you up the best we can so that you can make wise decisions. And the truth is, I think I said this on the show yesterday, we were talking to Bob Shallow, who used to run a department at Ford Motor Company. He actually was in charge of, if you have a Ford 500, which I do, he was in charge. And Ford Tauruses, yeah. He actually helped design those.
Yep.
But he was telling us how the worst thing you can do to someone that is working underneath you, the worst thing you can do to help someone is give them all the answers and tell them exactly what to do. Because if people don't learn how to find those answers for themselves and they don't learn how to make decisions on their own, they will never grow. So while we will give you a lot of advice on this channel and we will always tell you guys what we are thinking ourselves, that doesn't necessarily translate to it's automatically the right decision for you. You have to make that decision on your own. And what's good about this channel, if you want to learn how to do that, this channel is the perfect channel, probably the best channel on all of YouTube to teach you how to think cryptocurrency to build your wealth. We're not just going to give you all the answers because that's actually not even good for you.
Absolutely, guys. It is our intention to help you become financially free through trading and investing in cryptocurrency. And if that's something you are interested in, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We go live 5 times a week here, and we post a ton of content all over social media and on this YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so you don't miss an upload, and consider liking the stream. I really appreciate it when you guys give us that support and that feedback. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Speaking of continued support, there has been continued support in the chat for a couple of weeks now for a project called Theta, a project that has now reached the top 10 and has a just stupid chart when you look at it, guys. We're going to jump on over to CoinMarketCap. I want to show you this cryptocurrency and what it's done. Looking at CoinMarketCap, you can see that Theta, which give me a 1 in chat if you've been waiting for us to talk about this cryptocurrency, it's jumped into the top 10. We're going to give it some justice. It's up 16% in the last 24 hours. Unlike every other crypto in the top 10, only Tether is up, but of course Tether doesn't count. If you guys didn't know this, about 2 years ago I did a price prediction on Tether as an April Fool's joke. Everybody thought I was serious. It was crazy. Anyway, Theta is trading around $1.82 right now, and his chart just looks absolutely stupid. This is the log chart. This is the linear chart. This is what Theta has done, just for perspective, guys, because remember, one of our keys is to make sure we maintain perspective. Let's look at what Theta has done this year. Remember, guys, this year isn't even 3 months old. Theta in 3 months is up 500%. Theta in the last year is up 12,000%. So let's do some technical analysis on it, or try to. Anyway, the very first thing I want to do here, guys, I want to try and identify some support and resistance trend lines. The very first thing I'm going to do is support and resistance levels. The very first thing I'll do is I'll put a resistance level up here at $12. That is a level that we've just rallied to. It's a big even. It's kind of a big even, and it's one that we're going to want to notice. Remember, guys, I did some TA on Theta a couple of weeks ago, and we set a support level at $2.50. Doubt that's ever going to come into play again because Theta has jumped 5x from where that was. Let's go ahead and zoom into the 4-hourly chart, and let's see if we can find any uptrending levels of support. I don't really see any major uptrending levels of support, but I do see something right here, which is that Theta is going parabolic. You can see these these lows are getting higher and higher and higher. Notice how these lows are pretty similar. Then the angle changes. Let me just go ahead and do it like this. Let me show you like this. This is the degree of this trend line. Then this is the degree of this trend line. Then this is the degree of this trend line. What does this look like? This looks like parabolic rising bottoms. This market is in blue sky breakout. It is rallying incredibly fast. We can also see the same thing on the highs. We have that degree of inclination, then we have that degree of inclination. This market is straight up going parabolic. And the funny thing is, we're on the log chart, which is designed to curtail the movement of parabolic markets. This market is in straight up blue sky breakout. Zooming out to the daily chart, we can also see on the MACD and RSI that these are just massively blown out. MACD is completely unreadable right now because Theta is so high. RSI is obviously saying that Theta is overextended. It's sitting at 88. Funny thing is, Theta's actually gone to 90 before, so perhaps Theta could run a little bit further. Here's the deal, guys. Whenever you see a cryptocurrency market like this that is just absolutely exploding, it's in something called price discovery phase. Right now, the market has not ascertained what exactly Theta should be trading at. You might think, Jebb, what do you mean Theta should be trading at? Is there some regulator in cryptocurrency that says thou shalt trade at $14? No, of course not. But market forces will naturally push a cryptocurrency or a stock or a real estate piece of investment or whatever to a certain value. There's a certain happy medium where a cryptocurrency's value will sit whenever the market has finally equalized. Right now, Theta is in that price discovery mode. Theta is trying to figure out, hey, am I supposed to be trading at $25 or $50 or $100 or $10? It really just doesn't know. But at the end of the day, what we can say is that Theta, one, probably has very strong fundamentals. We're not going to get into the fundamentals of Theta right now, but needless to say, obviously a lot of people believe in it or it wouldn't have gotten here in the first place. And number two, we can also say this, it is hugely overextended. And based on the RSI, we should be seeing a correction in the next couple of days. I didn't even show you the TD sequential. It's just disgusting right now, guys. Theta is massively over its TD sequential. Shout out to anyone holding Theta, 12,000% in a year. That's incredible. Tim, I know a lot. I think we had an email about Theta. Do you want to tell people what that email said? Was it an email? It was an email about Theta, or was it an email about something else?
Man, I don't remember, honestly. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we got an email from someone saying Theta. I know a lot of people wanted us to talk about Theta. Tim, what do you think about Theta jumping into the top 10?
I want to do more research. I literally was just on the phone texting with our research team about, hey, do you guys have articles on Theta? We need to learn more about Theta. I can only chew on so many new coins at a time, and right now I have a couple other that I've been chewing on, but I am very excited to get to learn more about Theta.
Absolutely, guys. I am really looking forward to seeing what this project does. One thing I want to wrap out this segment with are 2-minute technicals.
We have one more. We have one more.
We have one more? What are we doing? Oh, we're doing dot TA.
We're doing two more. We're doing, well, we have two more. I think we do have time.
We have 2 more. Okay.
Yeah, so, don't rub. People have been commenting too. I got you guys. I got you. We are doing Harmony, and then I think
we're
what
gonna do
Smay
Harmony.
was saying is that we also have some demand for dot. So we're actually throwing a slight audible because we have a little extra time.
Okay.
That we're actually gonna do 2 more 2-minute technicals. If you guys like this, and you probably heard this before, if you like this, this is all Jebb breaking down technicals to give you an example of what you would learn in CT2A, which is the course that we offer. And the reason we have that course is because, like we've said actually several times in the stream, we don't just care about giving you the information you need to just follow what we're doing. We want you to be able to think for yourself. We have a goal of every single person learning more and more and being able to pull themselves up out of wherever they are and go further and further. So if that's you, if that describes you, you want to learn, you want to grow, and you want to be able to not just have a fish and eat for one day, but fish and feed yourself the rest of your life, CT2A is the perfect course for you. And so this is a great example of the things that you'll be able to do once you've finished. I've seen the comments. People are talking about what CT2A is. These are people who also do this. They check in to see how Jebb is feeling, but a lot of the stuff Jebb is talking about, they actually have already done in their own research. So if you need that, there's a link down below that you can sign up for CT2A today. Make sure you don't miss out.
Absolutely, guys. If you want to learn more about technical analysis, the link's in the description box down below. Someone was talking about it in chat, and I just looked at it. Theta just hit all-time high. Just so you know, Theta just hit 12 bucks. Brand new all-time high. We caught it on stream. That's awesome. Shout out to everyone who is in Theta. Someone said they got into Theta at 19 cents. Congratulations on that, my friend. I'm going to go ahead and jump on over to Harmony now. Tim, before we get started, can you tell us just a little bit about Harmony so that people have a little bit of a warm-up to this cryptocurrency? I know you were looking at it briefly this morning.
Yeah, so very, very briefly. And then I said I was in conversation with our research team, and they will give us updates, and they will give us a lot more reports to inform this even better. But I'm gonna try to explain it as easily as possible, build on this. It is very similar to Cardano and Ethereum in terms of how it works. The cool thing is that while it operates similarly to Ethereum and Cardano, it's its own blockchain. So there's a lot of projects that are attached to Ethereum or attached to Cardano. That is not Harmony. Harmony is its own thing. So the good side is it was built similar to Cardano to fix the problems that Ethereum has. The only downside and what we need to see looking forward is does it have enough gusto and reason to rival against Cardano and Ethereum, or does Cardano and Ethereum accomplish everything? So that's the only thing. I think from a fundamental standpoint, Harmony or One is kind of sitting in a we need to continue to wait and see. But the technicals have been pretty fun this week. A lot of people have been asking about them. By no means are we saying this coin is not going to take off. We're not 100% sure yet, and that's because we still have limited research if this is the coin of the future or if this is just a solid coin. But we don't know yet if this is a hodl coin or if this is a, watch it for right now that have your exit strategy already put in place.
Absolutely, guys. But we're going to go ahead and jump on to some 2-minute technicals on Harmony. And pretty similar to Theta, Harmony is absolutely exploding right now, and it is going to color our technical analysis. If we look at Harmony, we can see that it is trading at 16 cents. And we can also see that there is a parabolic run-up over the last couple of months. Ever since the beginning of this year, Harmony has rallied 4,000%. It has rallied into the top 100 very quickly. It was trading at 1/10 of a cent. It's now trading at 16.5 cents. Very first thing we have to do, guys, following our blank to bank style of technical analysis, we have to find out our levels of support and resistance. Clearly, we have a level of support down here around 3.8 cents. That's really the only level that jumps out at me other than our current all-time high. But right now on blue sky breakout cryptocurrencies like this, all-time highs don't really mean a whole lot, do they? All-time high for Harmony is sitting just under 20 cents. I'm just going to call it 20 cents for simplicity's sake. That is a big even number. The very first thing I want to show you on Harmony, guys, is that its MACD is massively overextended and its RSI is massively overextended. It's had a small correction, but as you can see, the TD sequential has been overextended for the last 3 weeks. This cryptocurrency, technically speaking, needs a correction. Volume looks very healthy. We can see a ton of volume coming in. The uptrending EMA is very strong. We're sitting right above that. Guys, just like we talked about on Theta, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the technical analysis on Theta and Harmony right now are actually not that important. Whoa, wait a second, Jebb. Then why did you do technical analysis on them? So that I can make this point. These two cryptocurrencies, technically speaking, the technical analysis itself has told us that these cryptocurrencies are in price discovery phase. Whenever you're in a price discovery phase of a new cryptocurrency and it's just freaking moonshotting, you have to take that into account in your technical analysis, because hitting 90 on RSI might not mean a correction. Getting overextended on TD sequential might not mean a correction. We think that Bitcoin has high volatility. 4,000% in 2.5 months. That's what Harmony has just done. That's called price discovery mode, and that's what our technical analysis is showing us, is that yes, it's massively overextended, but we can't just look at the RSI and say, oh, it's overextended, it's going to correct. Maybe not. It's in price discovery mode. The TA kind of goes out the window in those situations. You need to understand that, the limitations of technical analysis. What are the limitations of technical analysis? We can get into that in another stream, but one of them is when the cryptocurrency is in moonshot territory. You're going to have to use that to color the way that you look at this cryptocurrency. As far as the fundamentals are concerned, though, guys, like Tim said, we're going to go and do more research on this project. It is up and coming, and it seems like a pretty well-backed, pretty well-planned-out project. That's only the preliminary understanding that we have of it. What I do want to say is this. Be very careful about entering cryptocurrencies that are moonshotting like a rocket, because at the end of the day, that rocket can go up, but if it doesn't manage to get into orbit, you know what it's going to do? It's going to fall straight into the ocean. It's going to burn up on re-entry. You want to make sure that the cryptocurrency that you are jumping on the rocket of is actually going to get to orbit and be stable. Bitcoin is already in orbit. Ethereum is already in orbit. They're all getting ready to go to the moon. Your cryptocurrency, the altcoin that you're holding on to, try and discern if it's actually going to get to orbit or if it's going to fall flat on its face straight into the Atlantic. Right now, we really just don't know yet. So that's where fundamental analysis comes in. That's my take. What do you think, Tim?
We compare fundamental analysis all the time to playing like blackjack. You know, when you go to Vegas, there's a lot of games to play. A popular one is blackjack. You know, it's very well known for that. But some people will go, shoot dice, or they'll play. I don't even know all the games. But there are some games that are literally all chance. All chance. There are some games that actually take some skill. If you are someone with a lot of money, and you're like, you know what? Let's have some fun. And the off chance I hit it big, let me throw a little bit into coins that I'm not 100% sure about. That's great. Don't do it if you're short on money. Don't do it if you have a very little amount of money to use. Stay with what you know. But if you have, if you've just been like, man, I've been profiting like crazy, let me try to throw a little bit into some of these small coins and see if something takes root. That is completely fine. But like I said, understand, if you don't know the fundamentals of a coin, that's like not knowing how to play the game. So if you understand the fundamentals of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, the reason why we talk about those ones so much is because we're very familiar with those fundamentals. We know how the game is played, and then we add the technical analysis to the game so that we can actually count the cards like playing blackjack. If we were to invest in this right now, I would love to learn more about it, but if we were to invest in it right now, that's like taking an all luck game. I don't really know how the game is played. I don't really know what's going to happen. It could be a massive payout, or it could be just a complete loss. So if I did, I really wouldn't put that much money into it. The other cool thing, the strategy I take personally, and Jebb, you can say whether you agree or not, with these little coins that until recent history have not really been heard of that much, when you see this massive spike, like Jebb was saying, this isn't a price discovery mode. No one really knows what it's worth. Wait for it to come back down and settle down, and that's when, if you're really excited about it, don't see, oh, it's profited 600% this week, let me buy in. Well, it's probably coming back down. Wait for it to come back down, and then if you still like the fundamentals, then you buy. Like we've been saying, buy as much into the dip as you can. If you think, though, it's at $1 and it's going to make it to $1,000 based off the fundamental analysis that you've done, all right, go ahead, buy it. But don't just buy in because there's this massive craze of people buying it.
Absolutely, guys, and that's the point we're trying to make. That was a great idea. Guys, we want to move on to DOT. This is a cryptocurrency that is out of price discovery phase. It has now figured out what it wants to trade at, and it is a cryptocurrency that we really like the fundamentals of, that we do know about. DOT is trying to set up Internet 3.0 for decentralized and private internet. So let's go ahead and do some technical analysis over on DOT. If you're ready, let's ready in chat. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Polkadot is sitting at $35.20 right now. I want to zoom into the 4-hourly chart. And as you can see, my chart is a bit of a mess right now. But really what the point is here is that Polkadot is still in a symmetrical triangle pattern and is trying to decide if it wants to break out. We saw a false breakout a little while ago. By the way, when you're trading breakouts of chart formations like this, you have to be careful because you never know when that breakout is actually going to play out. This breakout didn't last very long. We fell back in here. We're sitting on top of this support level right now. Literally $35 flat is a support level for Polkadot, and Polkadot needs to hold it if it wants to continue rallying to the upside. Polkadot's been trading sideways here for over a month. What that means is that Polkadot's really happy where it's trading, guys. It means the volatility's low, and it's comfortable with that, and that's okay. If Polkadot wants to trade around $35, great. Wait for some fundamentals to come in and let it moonshot. What I want you guys to be encouraged in is that Polkadot does have strong fundamentals, and in the long term, it should go to the upside. Right now, what we're looking at is this constricting price action? Notice how we had a lot of volatility back here. Looking at the Bollinger Bands, saw a ton of volatility back over here, not much right here. Is this constrictant volatility going to lead to a major breakout, or is Polkadot just going to keep trading sideways? That's really a question of understanding the fundamentals, because if the fundamentals say, hey, Polkadot's undervalued and Polkadot should rally, then it'll rally. If the fundamentals say, hey, Polkadot is overvalued and needs to correct, then it's going to correct. Here's how you do it. You wait for the breakout, you enter that trade position, and then you can make profit. But until that happens, be careful of entering anything on Polkadot right now. You're trying to enter a stable coin at the moment, guys. This cryptocurrency is trading sideways. So when you're talking about the technical analysis on Polkadot, the technical analysis is actually throwing it back to the fundamentals, because that's what it's following right now. Looking at the MACD and the RSI, we can see that the MACD has been consistently bearish, but this is not actually a bad thing, because it's bringing the MACD line and the signal line back down here to 0. So what that means is that whenever Polkadot does move to the upside, it's going to have a ton of room to run, and it's going to be able to go on a massive, massive rally. Think about it like this. Polkadot's on a road trip. It's rallying to the upside. It's going up. This is Polkadot stopping for gas. Polkadot is a great project, and we should expect it to continue on that project, on that uptrend, because it's a good project. It's stopping for gas. It's taking a pit stop. Don't get concerned about this project. The fundamentals are strong. Look for a large breakout in the future. When that's going to happen, we don't know, but it's resetting and putting all the pieces into place so that when that does happen, it will be able to have a strong rally. So there's my analysis on Polkadot, guys. I think it's a great project, but it's in hibernation right now. What are your thoughts on that, Tim?
That's I think that's about it. We got our producers even telling us we only have a little bit of time left.
Yep.
So I want to wrap the stream up. First of all, those of you who are newer and just tuning in, if you want to go back and watch, we talked today about, we gave the Bitcoin technical analysis, the Ethereum technical analysis, and then gave the 3 keys to how you would survive bear trends like what we've seen in this Bitcoin kind of Correction, yes. I was about to say dump, but that's not the right word. It wasn't a dump. It was a correction. Yep. So the 3 keys to survive that and how to actually continue to think in the right way that will produce wealth long term. We then talked about the technical analysis of ADA. We talked about Theta, Harmony, and then we also talked about DOT as he just wrapped up. And if you want to see more videos like that, if you have coins that you want to suggest, feel free to email us at support@cryptojebb.com. We read those emails. A lot of the content that we do is actually based off of the information that we're getting feedback, because ultimately we want to inform you guys the best we can to make wise decisions so that you can create the financial freedom you've always wanted. If you like that, very much consider not just smashing that like button right now, but also subscribing, because that's the content you're going to be getting in every single video that you tune in for. Also, if you're looking for a platform to trade or invest, if you're outside of the United States, we would heavily recommend using Bybit, and we actually have an affiliate link down below that you can click on and go in, and it is super easy to use, very, very effective. We've heard lots of people, even though we're inside the United States, we've heard a lot of great results from people using that. If you're in the United States, we recommend using Binance US or even Coinbase Pro. But then again, we also talked about whatever you're most comfortable with, stick with it. But if you're looking for something and you want to try out Bybit, let us know. We can set you up. And to close out the stream, we're just going to go over, we've been doing a thing recently that we give price predictions on coins. What coin, Jebb, do you want to predict today?
I kind of want to. Well, what do you want? What do you want to do, Tim? What does chat want us to predict? Let's throw it back to chat. Give us a ticker symbol of the top 10, because those are the ones we're most familiar with. Of the top 10 altcoins, if you say something else, we're just not going to do it. Top 10 altcoins, which cryptocurrency do you want us to predict? I say we predict US dollar Tether, because I think US dollar Tether is going to be trading at $1 tomorrow.
I think we could smash that prediction.
I think we could all be right on that one.
May I suggest we do XRP?
Really?
What the world?
Why XRP?
Come on, I just think it'd be fun. We got to give him a shot.
XRP?
Let us know. Hit a 1 in chat if you want us to do XRP, and a 2 if you think that was the worst idea that was ever created.
Well, here, no, guys. I have something on the XRP chart that I need to show you right now. Let me just
Oh
go.
my
Let me go ahead
gosh.
and bring this up. The technicals are very, very clear with XRP. It says it sucks. Don't buy. And then you see that it dumps because
Oh my gosh.
because it sucks.
That
So
looks like great technical analysis.
that looks like great technical analysis. It sucks. Don't buy. So that is our TA on Ethereum, or excuse me, not on Ethereum, not on Ethereum. We love Ethereum. We love Ethereum on XRP. So
All right, we got 2 minutes.
What do we
let's
think?
wrap this up.
Listen, we people said no XRP. That's,
Okay.
That's
Okay.
yeah, some people wanted it, but there's a lot of
let's just do
people
Bitcoin.
we'll do Bitcoin.
Let's do Bitcoin. I will tell you where I think Bitcoin is going to go.
Well, let me forced. It is sitting at the moment at 55271
Okay. Okay.
and 64 cents. All right.
I'm ready.
All right, I have mine.
I have mine.
All right, Jebb, go ahead and go first.
Okay. Friends, I think that Bitcoin is going to go. You ready for this? $56,946.13.
Come on.
Let's go.
With the kicks and giggles.
With the
answer.
kicks and giggles.
All right, Tim, what's yours?
No, Smet, you're next.
Oh, okay, I'm next.
Yeah, you're next.
Okay, mine is 53,365.
Oh, pessimist.
I still am loving that I got the trend going with the kicks and giggles. So, in case you guys are wondering what the kicks and giggles thing is all about, they always answer such clean. Whenever do you ever see the number be so even?
That's true.
It's always weird. So,
That's true.
while it's very hard to predict those little numbers, it's always fun to do it. Here's the thing. I love your predictions, Jebb, Smay, the hater. I don't really love it.
Hater.
Hater.
You could be right. It could continue to go that way. But I am in agreement with Jebb that we are going to be moving back up. And so I have the number, which again is for the people because I want you guys to make money, that we are going to be going tomorrow morning at 9:30, that we could never know if this is actually true or not. It is going to be going to $58,473.28.
Ooh, okay.
So I think we're going to massively correct. I think Zach might.
Definitely not high. Zach, who's definitely not high, I think wants to make a prediction.
Zach, do you have a prediction real quick?
You got 5 seconds.
54.
He thinks it's going to 54 flat. He
What a
thinks it's going to
boring answer. What a
$54,000.
boring answer.
Definitely not high. Zach, who is definitely not high, thinks it's going to $54,000. Guys, that's going to wrap it out for today's stream. If you did enjoy today's live stream, smash that like button and consider subscribing. We post content here every single day. Before I go, though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. Peace.